Alex Jones with the equivalent of the kid getting caught skipping school here. This is something else. This is from the Washington Post. Alex Jones was in the middle of a 4-hour broadcast as his lawyers told a judge he was too sick to sit for a court-ordered deposition in the Sandy Hook case. This is amazing. That is the most Alex Jones thing I've ever heard in my life. So remember, guys, he lost a number of Sandy Hook cases, but the reason that he lost them was not actually on the merits of the case. It's not on the substance, because it's actually just incredibly difficult to prove libel or slander or defamation in U.S. courts. We really have a very, First Amendment heavy system here. Like, we very much lean in favor of free speech and free expression and freedom of the press, so it's very hard to prove, damages. Now, am I saying there was no case in the Sandy Hook thing? No, I think that, if anybody had a decent case, it was probably the Sandy Hook families. I mean, they were harassed, and they were harassed directly by Alex Jones fans, and, maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect there because these people do have agency, and it is like they were the ones committing the crimes. Alex, you could argue maybe he was inciting it, but there'd have to be a direct connection where he's like giving out their addresses and stuff like that. Now, I don't know if they would have been able to prove it, but he lost by default in these cases. What that means is he didn't provide the courts with the documents that he needed to provide them with. So as part of, the court procedure, it's like all these different documents had to be submitted, financial documents and all sorts of documents that are related to the case, and he didn't do it. Now, of course, this is hilariously ironic because Alex Jones is the guy who's always like, I have the documents, ladies and gentlemen, I have the documents right here, and the documents prove that the NWO and the Illuminati is turning everybody into lizard people, and they're going to have sex with your kids. So he's the guy who's always talking about documents. He didn't have them, and he didn't present them to the court. So he lost, not on the merits of the case, he lost by default. Well, now apparently there's some sort of follow-up deposition that's happening, and he was like, hey man, I can't come in, I'm too sick. And as he said that, he was in the middle of like a 4-hour broadcast. This is the most Alex Jones thing I've ever heard in my life. He's incredible. Like, dude, I don't know if you know this, but like, you're famous. Like, people know what you're doing if you go on the air. Okay, but I have more for you. So Ron Filipkowski, he got this from Alex Jones. This is the first time I'm listening to this.
Judge up in Connecticut yesterday, and you saw the lawyers, these Democrat Party lawyers that work for Blumenthal, openly saying, we want him arrested and put in jail if he doesn't show up for some multi-day long, way Connecticut law works, it's just unlimited.
Yeah, that's how the justice system works, Dippy. Like, what does he think? What does he think? You get sued, and it goes to trial, and you're just like, and these assholes want me to show up to that. Like, Alex, yeah, this is the way it works. Now, if your name happens to be cleared, then your name is cleared, and then you could celebrate and pop some champagne or sniff 87 lines, which I'm sure you do on a daily basis. But yeah, you have to show up, dog. You have to show up for it.
Long deal. And so when I talked to these doctors, they said, you're crazy. You need to go home. You need to go get these tests. I got more tests set today, more tomorrow. And you need to stay away from the microphone. Well, here I am, even though I shouldn't be on here because I have to respond to the hundreds of news articles, including the Associated Press, that are attacking me and saying I'm a horrible person. But I might just release my medical records and make you all look like fools. I mean, I've had
But hold on. So you can't say, I'm too sick to come in and then do your show. Because if you're too sick to go in, you are certainly too sick to do your show. Your show, you have to do more talking than you do at the deposition. So if talking is the problem, then you can't do your show and not do the deposition. How do you not understand this? Do you think everybody's an idiot, Alex? Apparently you do. This is like the thinnest excuse I've ever heard in my life.
AGs, I've had scans, I've had it all. And I started getting sick after I got COVID last year. Almost killed my dad. And I took care of them, and it was...
Wait, what happened? Wasn't he one of the ones who said it was a hoax? Maybe he didn't. Look, I don't know. I don't follow Alex Jones daily. It's almost impossible to find his show now. He's only on one outlet, and it's band.video or whatever it's called. But pretty sure he's one of the people who was pushing this it's a hoax line, and now he's talking about it almost killed his dad, and he has long COVID?
Really bad Delta variant, and I got spike protein, and like everybody else, it attacked my cardiovascular system, okay? And so...
And we do know that he's massively anti-vaccine. So, if he did indeed get COVID and he's not totally bullshitting right now, well, one of the reasons why it would be a bad case of it is because, Alex, you're anti-vax. It absolutely would have helped you.
Again, somebody on death row is allowed to go get their medical treatment, and hearings and things are postponed. But I'm treated worse than somebody on death row.
Okay, but dude, you went and did your show. You didn't postpone the deposition to go get medical treatment. You postponed the deposition to go do something which is more onerous and more taxing on your body and is going to, make you feel worse if indeed you do have COVID. So, I don't know, man. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. Far be it from me to try to dissect all of Alex Jones' bullshit. That requires, master surgery. That requires, genius-level intellect and an eye for nuance that I certainly don't have at this very moment because I'm tired myself here. So I'll let you guys determine if he has COVID, if he doesn't have COVID, or if the entire story is a line of bullshit. Because, yeah, he got caught red-handed. Homeboy was supposed to go to a deposition over some very serious cases, and he just skipped it to do his show. Now, look, if he skipped it and he was at the doctor, if he skipped it and he was at the emergency room, that's one thing. If he skipped it and he was home, now, I probably wouldn't believe that story, but it would be more understandable than skipping it to go do your show, which, believe me, I know I've had to do my show and I've done it sick before, and it's the toughest thing in the world, because if you're talking for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and you have, a stomach bug, let's say, you're nauseous or you have a cough, or it's very difficult to do, because the more you talk, the more you, your body wants to start, purging. It would want to, throw up, or you'd want to start coughing more, or whatever. So, I'll leave it up to you guys to determine, is he totally bullshitting here? Does he have COVID? Does he not have COVID? Or is it just the saddest cover story of all, because he got caught red-handed, he was supposed to go to a deposition, and he went and did a show? I mean, this guy, man. This guy's a mess. Alex, get it together, dude.